What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links leak video. Man, it feels good to say that. And today I'm going to be talking about some information about the Dark Side of Dimensions world coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links at the end of September. And today I'm going to be talking about all the characters that have been confirmed for Dark Side of Dimensions world through the leaks. I'm going to be talking about a few of the characters from Dark Side of Dimensions that are getting added to Duel Links, and I'm going to be talking about a few of their gate rewards that got unlocked. And for a little bit of fun for today's video, I'm going to give my speculation on what cards that all of these Dark Side of Dimensions characters are going to have as their ace monsters. When it comes to that ace monster portion, which I'll say later on in the video, but I'm going to say it now also, is that all these ace monsters and ace cards are not confirmed. It's just a little fun thing to do during the video right here. So I will specifically mention what are the actual leaks, and then I'm also going to specifically mention what are the little theory stuff that I'm going to be doing for today's video. Anyways, let's get into today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links leak video / speculation video. Let's get into it. So first things first, we're going to be talking about all the new characters for the new Dark Side of Dimensions world. Huge credit to Duel Links Meta for all the leaks and all that good stuff right there, and also shout out to the data miners that did the leaks themselves. I'll put Duel Links Meta's website in the description as always. But anyways, let's go talk about all these new characters. So some of the new characters that are going to be getting in the Dark Side of Dimensions world is Seto Kaiba, Mokuba Kaiba, Yugi Moto, Joey Wheeler, and Taya Gardner. Those are kind of like 5 re-release characters, but it makes a lot of sense because Dark Side of Dimensions takes place after the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters anime, and it's kind of like a little post story to that right there. Get to see all the characters and what they're doing in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World and all that fun stuff right there. So those are basically some re-releases right there. We have Agami. Sorry if I mispronounced the character's name, but he's basically kind of our spoiler alert. You can skip like 10 to 15 seconds or 10 to 20 seconds from now. Spoiler alert, but Agami is kind of like the bad guy of Dark Side of Dimensions. He'll be like a brand new character that we're going to be getting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. He's either going to be kind of like Jack Atlas in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's world, where he might get released later on, or he might be one of the first characters to get released during when Dark Side Dimensions world comes into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have like Sarah or Sierra. I'm gonna call her Sarah for this video. And anyways, I forgot specifically what this character is for because it's been a long time since I watched Dark Side of Dimensions, but I think that she's the sister or related to Agami, if I remember correctly. And I'll talk about her a little bit later on my ace monster speculation, because there's actually a couple of things that are pretty cool about Sarah and Agami that I'll talk about later in the video, but she's another character that got confirmed. We have Unknown Duelist. We don't know who this duelist is yet. Some theories out there is that this is possibly Yami Yugi, because if you didn't already with the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, since this takes place after the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, Yami Yugi is just not a thing when it comes to the Dark Side of Dimensions. He went back to what time he was meant to be in, but Unknown Duelist might be him. Maybe he could be this other character. I know Brad talked about this other character, which I forgot to look it up when I was researching and making like the little graphics for today's video, but I'll pop it up post-editing on one of the characters that Brad mentioned in his leak video right there. But this Unknown Duelist is literally an unknown duelist. We don't know who it is yet. There's a couple theories out there. And then we also have this guy called like Scud. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that character's name, but he's kind of like a gang leader of his gang, and as you guys can see, we have Scud gang for IDs. But yeah, Scud is just a gang leader, and for some reason he's going to be one of the playable characters for Dark Side of Dimensions, because we actually have some cards in the data mines that are leaked for him, and it's a bunch of like gate rewards. So it makes me mad that there's this guy called Scud who did not duel at all in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, and he's getting added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but Misty isn't added into the game. And yes, I will keep hammering down on Misty getting added to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I'm beating the dead horse, that is for sure. But those are all the new characters for the dual world. Next up, let's go talk about Seto Kaiba's leaked gate rewards that we're going to be getting in the Dark Side of Dimensions world once the world comes out in late September. And first things first, we're going to talk about this card on the screen right now, Assault Wyvern. It's going to be a UR card that we're going to be able to farm for the Dark Side of Dimensions Seto Kaiba, and it is a pretty cool card. This is a 4-star light dragon effect monster. When this card destroys an opponent's sponsored by battle, you contribute this card and special summon 1 dragon type monster from your hand or graveyard except Assault Wyvern. This card has 1800 attack and 1000 defense. And probably the main point of this card getting added with Seto Kaiba is the fact, like, yeah, if you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon either from your hand or a graveyard, you can just special summon one of your Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand or graveyard. And if I remember correctly, Seto Kaiba did use Assault Wyvern in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie. That would make sense. So there's that right there. But still, Assault Wyvern could probably be used in a lot of different decks, because there's a lot of different Dragon type monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So there might be some cool combos you could do with Assault Wyvern, because 1800 attack is not too shabby at all. And I guess if you really wanted to, combo Peak Performance or Tied to Bind or whatever, you can get this card a little bit of a boost to the 1900 or 2000 attack right there. So Assault Wyvern, pretty cool card, definitely worthy of the UR rarity. Next card we're going to be talking about is Crystal Dragon, which, by the way, I gotta admit, that artwork on this card is actually pretty cool. And I mean, I'm a sucker for that shade of blue as it is, so it got a one up from me, that is for sure. But anyways, this is a light 6-star dragon effect monster. Once per turn during your battle step, if this card battled this turn, you can add 1 level 8 dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. This card has 2500 attack and 1000 defense. So the obvious point of this card is to search out for Blue Eyes White Dragon, but since it doesn't specify Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can combo this in pretty much any dragon type deck that uses level 8 dragon monsters, so you can go for Blue Eyes White Dragon or whatnot. The only downside to this card, in my opinion, is the fact that it is a 6-star monster in the first place, and alongside the fact that the only way to get the search off is by battling. But the fact that you got to basically summon this card after through a special summon through, what was the card called again, Assault Wyvern, or if you got to tribute summon this card, makes this card a little bit slow and kind of inconsistent in my opinion. But it's a cool card. I think it's UR worthy, and I think there might be some cool combos that people can think of with this card. But I think that this card might be a little too slow. But then again, it is just a gate reward, and gate rewards and just free UR cards are usually not supposed to be top tier. So there's that right there. But yeah, cool card. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Dark Sacrifice, which is a trap card from Seto Kaiba, and this is an SR card. When your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy 8 cards on the field, negate the effect, and then send a level 3 or lower dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. Pretty cool. That's actually a pretty neat card, so you can protect yourself from stuff like TTH when it comes to Dark Sacrifice and maybe any future really broken cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Like if we get Mirror Force in Duel Links, we can use Dark Sacrifice right there. And then you can pitch a level 3 or lower dark monster from your deck to the graveyard to possibly get some other combos going. So Dark Sacrifice is a pretty cool card. Not too sure why this is with Seto Kaiba. I'm guessing he used this in the Dark Side Dimensions movie, but I don't remember that. So there's that right there. But yeah, cool card. Very cool. So next thing we're going to talk about when it comes to Seto Kaiba is Complete Scourge of Defeat, or Scourge of Defeat. I'm going to call it Scourge, even though it might be Scourge. I think Scourge of Defeat. Anyways, you can use the skill from turn 6 and onward. Put on top of your deck 1 copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Also, if your opponent has a monster on the field with 3500 defense, add from outside of your deck 1 Chaos Formula. You can use this skill once per duel. Now, I don't know what it is, but most likely this is not the case, and this is kind of like where my speculative is getting in. My speculative thoughts are getting into the video right here. Maybe this is an indication that Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon might be Seto Kaiba's like ace monster for the Dark Side Dimensions world, and they're kind of doing what they did with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's world, where they restricted in the skill at first, and then eventually they would add the card into a box. Now, I feel like that this is super restrictive, especially compared to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D skills, because in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D skills, they give you 2 tuners plus the 5D signer ace monster, which is really cool in my opinion. So I don't know. I feel like that this skill is more restrictive compared to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's skills, but I think this is kind of telling me that possibly Chaos Max Dragon will be kind of the like ace monster for Dark Side Dimensions Kaiba. I think that'll be pretty cool. I don't think it might be too far out, but at the same time, Chaos Max Dragon might be pretty good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and we're about to talk about the card real quick. So there's that right there. But yeah, let's just get into it. So yeah, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon is an 8-star Dark Dragon Ritual effect monster. You can ritual this card with Chaos form, must be ritual summoned, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card attacks defense to a monster, inflict double piercing battle damage to your opponent. This card has 4000 attack and 0 defense. Now, this card would be pretty good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and that's probably a good reason on why this might not be Seto Kaiba's ace monster, but there's still a few ways to get around this card. But I gotta say, yeah, it's really good. It's 4000 attacking monster. Duel Links' default amount of life points is 4000 attack, or 4000 life points right there. It cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent card effects. That's a very good effect, and inflicts piercing battle damage, so that's pretty crazy right there. But of course, you can use cards like Spellbook of Fate, for example, to banish Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon if you're able to, because setting up Spellbook of Fate isn't really that difficult, and it doesn't say target it, it's banished. So there's still ways to get around Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. And also, if Duel Links is going to restrict it only to a skill, which is most likely going to happen, you're probably not going to be really seeing Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon anytime soon, because of the fact that with Seto Kaiba's skill, your opponent needs to have a 3500 defense monster on their side of the field to even add the Chaos form to their hand. So there's that right there. Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, though, very interesting card, but who knows, maybe this card could be the ace monster for Seto Kaiba. I personally think that'd be pretty cool, but it might make Duel Links a little crazy. Moving on, when it comes to the confirmed cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions World, we're going to be talking about some very interesting cards from our boy Mokuba, and this is the revamped Mokuba for Dark Side of Dimensions. So what's really cool about Mokuba this go around is that he's actually adding a bunch of Thunder Dragon support into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is something that I didn't expect, but I think is actually really cool to make him more unique compared to Seto Kaiba. Because let's be real here, Mokuba is just not really like too special in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. At the time that Duel Links released, Mokuba is actually pretty cool because Mokuba added Ancient Rules to the game, and Ancient Rules was not the only way to unlock it at the time was through Mokuba, so that was really cool back in the day. But yeah, like Mokuba's Ace Monster and Duel Links is Blue Eyes White Dragon, so the fact that it's just like that is kind of resident sleeper. But I think with Mokuba having Thunder Dragons will make him a little bit more unique in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is very cool. So let's go move on to the first Dragon or Thunder Dragon card. So we have a UR Thunder Dragon card right here called Thunder Dragon Dark. This is a 5-star Dark Thunder effect monster. Quick effect, you can discard this card and add 1 Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. This card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard. You can add 1 Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except Thunder Dragon Dark. You can use 1 Thunder Dragon Dark effect per turn only once that turn. This card has 1600 attack and 1500 defense. Now this is a UR rarity, and I'm guessing that's because of the potential other Thunder Dragon support that we're going to be getting in Dark Side Dimension World, either if they release a box for Thunder Dragons for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, or they add like Mokuba and give Mokuba an Ace Monster Thunder Dragon monster, which we'll talk about later in this video. But yeah, this card is pretty neat. From what I could tell with Thunder Dragons, from the quick research that I did, they do have some really good effects by banishing monsters, because I think one of the the Thunder Dragon Fusion monsters can banish 2 cards from the graveyard to protect itself from destruction, so that's pretty cool right here. So something like Thunder Dragon Dark is definitely helpful for setting up the board, thinning out your deck, and getting Thunder Dragon material onto the field. So that's pretty cool right here, Thunder Dragon Dark, pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at this card right here called Thunder Dragon Matrix. This is a 1-star Thunder effect monster. Quick effect, you can discard this card and target a Thunder Dragon you control against 500 attack. This card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard. You can add 1 Thunder Dragon Matrix from your deck to your hand, but you only can use 1 Thunder Dragon Matrix effect per turn, only once that turn. So actually, I'm going to go double check real quick live on the video. So it looks like you can get this card so this is an SR card from Mokuba Kaiba's, Mokuba Kaiba's, gate rewards right here, and yeah, you can get this card through that. And yeah, this gives your Thunder Dragons a little bit of a boost. 500 attack doesn't really sound like that much, but at the end of the day, I think having it as a quick effect is actually pretty cool. It kind of gives Thunder Dragons like a little hand trap, and especially in Duel Links, I feel like this could be a really good hand trap, specifically for Thunder Dragon, like, Thunder Twin Dragon and potential Thunder Dragon fusions that we will get once Mokuba Kaiba for Dark Side Dimension Worlds comes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So Thunder Matrix sounds pretty cool. And last but not least, we have another SR card, and this is Thunder Dragon Discharge. It is a continuous trap card. The activation of your Thunder monster's effects cannot be negated. Once per turn, if Thunder Dragon monster is normal special summon onto your field, you can target a spell and trap card on the field, banish 1 Thunder Dragon from your deck, and if you do, destroy that target. That's cool. I actually like that card a lot. It's going to be a little bit slow to summon it onto or get this card onto the field, because you do have to set it and then wait a whole nother turn to really trigger its effect. But the fact that it can't get rid of back row, and you could, let me read this again real quick. Yeah, the activation Thunder effect monsters cannot be negated, so your hand trap effects can't get negated, which is pretty nice. And yeah, if a Thunder Dragon monster is normal special summon on the field, you can start getting rid of your opponent's back row to ban it and just banish a Thunder monster from your deck, so it thins out your deck and it destroys back row. Still, your opponent can react with their spell and trap cards, because you do have to wait during your turn to really get this card going. But I think this card's still a pretty cool card, but yeah, it's a little bit slow. So that was it for Mokuba Kaiba right there. Thunder Dragons sound really cool. And last but not least, for whatever reason, this character right here has some cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. But let me tell you that these cards from his gate, thing right here are very, very mediocre. Well, this first one's actually kind of neat, but the rest of them are kind of meh. Anyways, so we have this card called like Minra or something like that. It's a 3-star Earth Insect effect monster. This card is just carded directly from your hand to the graveyard by an effect of a card controlled by your opponent. You can inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent's life points. I guess if Dark Worlds become very popular, you can probably side deck this card to cheese your opponent out of 1,000 life points. So I guess that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to this card. Moving on. Next up, we have Tyrant's Tantrum. This is a continuous trap card. You can activate by attributing 2 monsters. Your opponent cannot activate spell cards unless they also send a spell card from their deck to their graveyard. Yeah, another resident sleeper card. I mean, especially if you're playing a spell-heavy deck, you can, like, for example, spellbooks could low-key benefit from this card, and you waste your time by attributing 2 monsters. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know how I feel about the card. It's just kind of mediocre. And then last but not least, we have Spikebot right here. 5-star machine, vanilla machine, 1800 attack and 700 defense. Why are they adding this character? I guess because they just need characters for Dark Side of Dimensions to just fill up the slots, but really, Konami? Can you at least add Misty by now? Like, if you're going to release this character in the game, Add Misty Treadwell, please. She had way more screen time compared to with this character right here, because all this character did is just get evaporated by the villain, and that was about it. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this part of the video where I'm going to be talking about the potential ace monsters for all the Dark Side of Dimensions characters, these are not confirmed at all. We don't know what the exact ace monsters are going to be for the Dark Side of Dimensions characters. This is just all pure speculation for me, just my educated thoughts on what these ace monsters could be for all of these different characters. So feel free to go in the comment section down below and tell me your guys' list and all the potential ace monsters for all the different characters for Dark Side of Dimensions. Also, I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly because I know this video has been taking up some time, so let's get into it. First things first, let's go talk about Yu-Gi-Moto. His ace monster will most likely be Dark Magician in the Dark Side of Dimensions alternate artwork. I know a lot of people don't like this artwork that much, but I personally like it. It's cool. I think, of course, the other Dark Magician artwork is better, but I still can appreciate this artwork right here, so that's pretty neat. And also, when I looked up, like, you know, cards that are from what the quick research that I did, I didn't do too much research. From the quick research I did, a lot of the cards that Yugi could potentially have, especially for an ace monster in the game, were kind of OP in a sense. There's a couple like really OP cards, so I just settled with just our Dark Magician just in its Dark Side Dimensions alternate artwork. Next up for Seto Kaiba, same thing with Yugi, just the alternate artwork for Blue Eyes White Dragon in the Dark Side Dimensions artwork. And I actually like this one. I actually really like that Blue Eyes White Dragon artwork right there. So if that's the case, if we're going to get Blue Eyes White Dragon's alternate artwork from Dark Side Dimensions, I'll be more than happy because I really like this artwork. And like I said earlier in the video, if Konami wants to go extreme and add some crazy OP, you know, ace monsters for the Dark Side Dimensions, maybe Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon could be a pretty good candidate for Seto Kaiba's like ace monster for Dark Side Dimensions. But that's an extreme example, and most likely the alternate artwork for Blue Eyes White Dragon would be more realistic. Now, when it comes to Joey, I'm not really too sure what would be a good like ace monster for him in Dark Side Dimensions. So I just settled with this different artwork of Red Eyes Black Dragon that some of you guys may or may not know of. I wish I could have found a better image on the internet, but I really couldn't. But yeah, this is like an official alternate artwork that we have, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, and I could definitely see that being a possibility for Dark Side Dimensions. But yeah, from what I could tell, there wasn't really any like cards for Joey from the Dark Side Dimensions pack, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to the comment section down below. But yeah, I say we could probably get this as an ace monster. I think that would be pretty cool, as getting that alternate artwork for Red Eyes Black Dragon from Joey for the Dark Side Dimensions event. Next up, when it comes to Taya, we're gonna get the alternate artwork of Dark Magician Girl. That's just my educated guess right here. This was a Dark Magician Girl that we got from the Dark Side Dimensions, you know, packs and like that. And I actually did not know that until researching this video, and you know what? I like it. I like the artwork right there, because as you guys know with Taya, when she got added into Duel Links, or when she was in Duel Links, her ace monster was Dark Magician Girl, so yeah. Now, when it comes to Mokuba, we're going to be going off the wall, because for Mokuba in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links already, his ace monster was Blue Eyes White Dragon. But now that we have the confirmation of the Thunder Dragon support for Mokuba for Dark Side Dimensions, maybe his ace monster would be a little bit crazy. So this is definitely off the wall when it comes to his ace monsters. But possibly you can have this card called Thunder Dragon Duo, which is cannot be normal summon or set, and it must be special summoned from your hand by banishing a light and dark monster from your graveyard, which could make some sense on a possible ace monster for him, because Mokuba Kaiba does have a Dark Flare Dragon as one of his farmable cards, which to special summon Dark Flare Dragon, you need a light and dark monster in order to special summon that card. So maybe Dragon Duo could be a thing. I could see it. And then one that's like 10 million times more extreme is Thunder Dragon Titan. 3 Thunder Dragon monsters, or you can special summon this card by banishing a Thunder monster from your hand and a Thunder fusion monster you control, except Thunder Dragon Titan, and you can use that. So this is another possibility that you can use. Maybe we'll get a fusion ace monster for Mokuba Kaiba. So those are my like 2 extreme like ideas for an ace monster, because I feel like just rehashing Blue Eyes White Dragon for Mokuba Kaiba would be a big resident sleeper. So I'm hoping for a really cool Thunder Dragon ace monster for him. So one of those 2 would be my educated guess. Next up, when it comes to this Agami character right here, I'm gonna guess that Crimson Nova of the Dark Cubit Lord might be his like ace monster that you can get. But this card is kind of wild, because this card cannot be normal summon or set, but it must be special summoned from your hand by revealing 3 other Cubit cards from your hand with different names that cannot be special summoned other ways. And yeah, this card is unaffected by monsters activated effects whose original attack is 3,000 or less. When this attacking card destroys monster by battle, you can activate its effect. This card can make it a second attack during the battle phase. During your end phase, each player takes 3,000 damage. You only can use the effect of this card once per turn. 3,000 attack, 0 defense. This card is crazy, but I still could see this as like an ace monster for him that we can actually get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because the summoning of this card is going to be difficult, because you need 3 other cubic cards in your hand with different names, and that's kind of hard to come by in my opinion when it comes to Duel Links, because our opening hands are 4. Then again, I haven't researched every single cubic card, and cubics are still a new archetype for me, so with cubic cards I'm going to assume that they do have some cool combos to really get searchability going. That would be my guess on it, but I feel like it would still be somewhat difficult to summon this card. This card still is affected by, you know, spell and trap cards, and we have some pretty busted spell and trap cards in Duel Links as it is, so that's that right there. But dude, that fact where you take 3,000 damage on, each player takes 3,000 damage during the end phase, that's actually kind of wild. So maybe this card will be the ace monster for him. I don't really know. And then like a more extreme example is that he can use his boss monster that he used in the anime. This one takes 3 different Crimson Nova of the Cubic Dark Lord, and you can summon this card. This card might just be like, I don't know, in a box or you know, just in his event that you can get or whatever. But I think it's like true ace would probably be this one right here. So there's that. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Sarah's ace monster right here. And the reason why I'm going with the Duza, the Meteor Cubic Vessel, is because when I did a little bit of research on the Dark Side Dimensions character, I typed in just Yu-Gi-Oh! Sarah just to see what would pop up in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki. And apparently this card along with, or not this card, this character along with Agami were both in one of these like Yu-Gi-Oh! Mangas, which I'll pop a screenshot of the manga on the screen right now. And yeah, this was one of the very few cards that she used, and I'm going to just assume that this is probably going to be her little ace monster right there, one of the few cards that we're going to be getting from her. Probably I could think of some other like cubic support that would be better for Sarah's ace monster, but this is the only card that I can come up with that like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki specifically said that she used. So we have this card right here. It's a 4-star machine effect monster, normal or special summon. You can send a cubic monster from deck to the graveyard once per turn during either player's turn. If this monster is set from the field of the graveyard while its card's face up on the field, you can make this card get 2 attack for each monster with a different name in your graveyard till the end of the turn. So there's that right there. Nothing too crazy, but this is the only like logical card I could see Sarah having. Maybe this is not her ace monster, most likely not her ace monster, but it's definitely a card that I could see her having whenever she gets added into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links in the Dark Side Dimensions event. So there's that right there. When it comes to stud, I'm not even going to speculate an ace monster because 1, he didn't duel in the show, and 2, I'm just salty that a character like him is getting added to the game and Misty is not. Salty Watt 007 back at it again. Well, that's going to be it for me in today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links leak video. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash the like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! related content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to join as a member if you want to support me as a content creator. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll go see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.